All right, Blake asked, I'm a big fan of your content. Awesome, glad I could help. I own a 6-man agency and we're going through the process right now. We're trying to build our following with video marketing, but it's just tough getting started. Any advice you would share would be appreciated. So, Blake, the best thing I can tell you is to be yourself. It's going to take you a while in order to find the company voice or your voice. You know, I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I finally feel comfortable on video. And, you know, I was trying to break it down. I was like, well, is it because I'm crazy and I just pretend there's people here watching, like through this little hole? And I think that's part of it. But at the end of the day, you're going to see so many videos out there, right? You got my videos, you got Gary's videos, you got everybody else's. And there's certain styles that you like. And so you should look at that, but then adapt your own style to it. And at the end of the day, all of your content should not be to try to position to sell something all the time. It should literally be able to stand on its own and be able to help that person. And so the hardest thing for agency owners to really kind of get a grasp is giving away their best advice for free. And I'm not saying like meet with the prospect and give the best advice away. It's more of doing that over video, and video is so powerful. So case in point, in the United States, Best Buy is a huge brand, right? They have Geek Squad, which fixes computers. When someone has problems with their computer, they have a virus, it crashes, they'll get on someone else's computer and look up on YouTube and say, you know, how do I get this virus off my computer? And most of the time the Geek Squad will come up and they're showing you actually how to get it off. Now after you go through that, then they're like, man, I don't want to go through all these steps. Why don't I just take the computer down to Best Buy and have the Geek Squad fix it out? The case in point is people are lazy. So give away the best stuff to them that they can know how to do it, but they're going to want you to go implement because they're freaking lazy. The other thing that you need to concentrate on is see about how you can kind of switch it up and be entertaining sometimes. Now, I'm not just saying come out with jokes and all that kind of stuff. You got to be you, right? If you're dry, be dry. If you're funny, be funny. But, you know, one of the core things that we're trying to do is educate and entertain at the same time. That's kind of why I always do goofy stuff, or I'll have the cat video on my homepage, or you know, I'm interviewing Darth Vader or whatever it is. I'm trying to stand out and be unique, be myself, use my creativity in order to do that, but then also educate. So it's not just the typical kind of classroom setting that you know, I hated, right? I was a horrible student. I mean, I was just really, really bad. So, you know, those are a couple things that I would do, and then be consistent, right? And also the other thing is in the very beginning, like, you know how I start off this show, I'm like, hey, you know, welcome to the new episode of this Ask Swenk show. Today's episode, we're going to chat about X, Y, and Z. You want to kind of hook them in and let them know what they're going to discover on the video. And a lot of times too, create short bits of content. You know, what I do with the full version of the Ask Swenk show, it goes out full version, like the 3 questions, but then we actually slice that stuff up in micro content. So each question gets its own episode, which those actually get more reach and more visibility and more shareability because they're really, really quick. So they don't have to go through all the other stuff. So consistency, find your own terms or find your own voice, right? And then help. And, you know, that's really it, man. You know, it's, and be patient. I think patience is a really big thing because you'll put out a video and you'll see 10 people. Or you'll have 100 subscribers and be like, what's going on? You know, I saw this thing, Matthew McConaughey, I think everybody knows who he is. I saw an article, I think in something, it said Matthew McConaughey had a YouTube channel for 2 years. He still does. And at the time, like a couple weeks ago, he only had maybe 2,000 followers versus like millions of followers on Twitter. And you just have to, don't let the stats mess with you. I think about when I look at, you know, if you look at some of my videos, they'll have 1,000 or some of 100, right? And if I looked at it just that way, I would get totally depressed. But I measure myself based on more of the impact those videos are actually delivering. And I look at it based on the emails I get back saying, hey man, I love your content. Like your comment, you said, I love your content, right? And you asked a question for it, right? So that's kind of how I measure, is based on the feedback I get via email or text or comments on the, on the blog or on Facebook and that kind of stuff. I don't worry about the statistics that normal people do. All right? I want you to join the conversation. Make sure you comment and subscribe. Thanks for giving me your most valuable asset, your time.